What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope everybody's having a very tubular Tuesday today. We are not really seeing much action on the market, and really over the past 2 days. I mean, we kind of hit some lows at like 243, highs around 247, so we haven't really moved too far outside of the range. Even going back kind of far, we really even down to from Friday, we kind of opened at like 242, so we've been kind of getting into a little tight range compression and consolidation. So, yeah, other than that, the only thing that kind of looks somewhat interesting outside of this little quick self that we did have on Friday, it has like some kind of like support kind of coming through here or uptrending support. I don't know. Kind of seems like that. Maybe something like that. And then try to continue higher this morning and just kind of breaking down. So we'll see if we just continue to keep breaking down, but kind of seems like that for now. So we'll see what happens by the end of the day today, because we get plenty of earnings coming in over the next few days in the big tech world. So we'll see what that's all about. Currently, right now, the SPY is down about 0.25%. Qs are down about 2/3%. Nice little gap up here this morning here on the Qs, about 0.4%. So it's already moved 1% from high to low, intraday. So Qs down a little decent amount. IWM, nice little gap up, nice little pop there in the first 15 minutes or so. Pulling back now, currently up 0.1%. All right, IWM. DIA, nice little gap up, nice push there first 30 minutes. Nice little quick pullback. Try to continue higher. Looks like it's going to roll over, make a lower high here. Okay. Same, really almost a very identical look here on the RSP as the DIA. Nice gap up. RSP is currently up about 1/3%. Nice run there in the first 30. Pullback. Tried to bounce, but it's kind of rolling over. Okay. So we'll see how things look. IWM is actually looking pretty good. I just kind of noticed that's up 1.4%, looking somewhat decent. Okay. RSP, nice gap up, nice little upper wick. I still think probably looking to be bullish on the RSP for now, even though it's pulling back some right now. It's fine. DIA. Did the DIA make a new high over Friday? That's a question. 407.62, 407.78. So it did about 16 cents, 16 pennies. Yeah, I think you're probably okay here, still being bullish. Staying above the moving averages. You might be all right there. IWM, still pulling back a little bit. Okay. IWM, still would rather be allocating there. Qs, man, jeez. Qs have dropped like another 1/3%, just while I've been talking. Man, kind of a brutal one. This is so tough because absolutely no way do I even want to talk about being bearish with some big time tech earnings after the bell today. And we can look at Microsoft because Microsoft's got earnings today. I think AMD does as well. So we can look at those two, but I just have a hard time wanting to be bearish with how much the Qs have sold off here over the past like 2.5 weeks. So SPY sitting right on top of that 50 EMA. It is getting pushed down. It has gone sideways here the previous couple days. You see all these tops basically come in at about that 547 level. That's right where the moving averages have come into today. It's kind of where it topped out today and it's pushed down. That was what we kind of talked about coming into the week. Just with all the catalysts that we had this week, I would have rather waited. I would rather wait till kind of a little bit later in the week. Maybe Wednesday by close. I mean, we could definitely rally by the end of the day, and I would expect to see a rally by the end of the day, especially with Microsoft having earnings. But maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe people are just like really waking up from Alphabet's earnings from last week. All right, Microsoft, Mr. Softy here. Down below the 100 moving average. It is selling down. It has come down pretty good over the past three weeks or so. If there's any decent premium below 410 and lower, I think I would just rather sell puts over earnings. I would just rather sell puts for this Friday, 410 and lower. That's what I would rather. I would just rather do that. Yeah, that's all I would want to do. So if you can get some decent premiums, 410 and lower. Let's see what we got here. 410 and lower. Options for this Friday. Puts only 410. 410's not bad. I mean, you're getting like 1% for 3-4 days work. That's not bad. 410, I would do that. Obviously this is probably not real time, but it's going to be pretty close. And if it does wind up getting down there, you got the 200 moving average you can bounce off of. You also have a lot of different support levels at previous times earlier in the year. I have a hard time believing that Microsoft would just wind up dropping through 400 so easily. So if it does wind up dropping down on earnings, probably hits a bounce spot and you can get out of it probably by the end of the week. Or maybe you want to get put shares at 410. You're down for that. Anyways, that's probably the only thing I can really think of to do on Microsoft. I don't know if I would want to be directionally long puts or calls. I would just rather sell puts. To me, selling puts is probably the more for sure thing. And yeah, there you go. AMD today after the bell as well. Man, this might be a decent one to play a bullish play on. I mean, you see how much selling AMD's had here over the previous 2-3 weeks. And I really kind of like being bullish here. And the reason why I like being bullish here, if you don't pay attention to semiconductor areas, especially a lot of processor chips from Intel are having issues. Their 13th and 14th generation chips, even some of their 12th generation chips have issues. They're trying to fix it, but I mean, they've already sold so many, it's like you can't recall it. And I was talking with a buddy about this yesterday. So they have a real issue, and a lot of people that buy processor chips are starting to just kind of go towards AMD because like it's that much of an issue. I think AMD might be poised for a little bit of a surprise bounce here because of this. And I kind of dig maybe just taking a little bit of not to say a huge swing here, but I would do like a tight vertical. I would do a tight vertical. Revenue. Oh wow, so we can look at that real quick. AMD options. Call options. This is the only way I would probably play AMD. So it's around the mid 130s, and you had some the 10 EMA coming down through the 140. So you want to get as close. Okay, so they got a dollar strike. So that's actually pretty good. So really what you're trying to do is get a somewhat decent, reward to risk. So you're, hold on. Which one? Bid ask. Okay. So we got bid ask here. So you're probably buying a 580 here at 140. So this 140 call option, you're probably buying like 580. Probably selling 535. So that's what, 45 cents. It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad for earnings. It's not horrible. I mean, I kind of dig. I want to be as low as possible. So however low you can stay for whatever risk reward. But the only way I'd play this is if you're doing a vertical. I would stick to just doing a vertical, where you're buying the lower strike price, and then you're selling a higher strike price. And the one you're selling, I wouldn't go higher than probably 144. And the one you're buying, I probably wouldn't go less than maybe 139. That's just kind of my opinion. So you're probably messing around somewhere in here. This is probably going to be probably your sweet spot. Make sure the one you're buying is the lower number. The one you're selling is the higher number. That's how you do verticals. Yeah, anyways, that's probably the way I would look to do earnings. You're going to be doing that for this Friday on AMD. I think if you get the pop to the 10 EMA, really what you want to see on earnings is you want to see a gap up over that 10 EMA. That's really what you want to see. Or if we don't gap up over that on Wednesday morning, you want to see a gap probably close to it, but you want to see us very quickly, the first hour, get above that 10 EMA. You definitely want to see that happen. If we do that, you could probably hold it till Friday and get the full value of your vertical option. So, other than that, we'll just keep it rolling. That was just some ideas for earnings plays. I think I'd rather go with the Microsoft myself, but for knowing what's going on in the semiconductor and processor areas, I think AMD, that might not be a bad way to go. Jolt's job openings did go a little bit higher than forecast. Forecast is going for 8 million. We did come in at 8.184 million. Jolt's job quits did go down a little bit from prior month. Okay. There you go. That's Jolt's. Tomorrow we will get the big one. We will get Fed in the afternoon. So, all right, let's just keep rolling. VIX has pulled back. Interesting. So the VIX has pulled back. It's not really dropping off as strong anymore. Seems like it's consolidating, waiting for this 10 EMA to come up, support it, and push it higher. I mean, the Qs are down 1.1% now. The SPY is down 0.6%. So starting to see some selling come in. Dollar continuing higher. Okay. Dollar might continue higher for a little bit. Gold kind of hanging out a little bit higher today. Nice little gap up there on GLD. 10-year yield hanging on to this kind of level here around 4.16. Okay. And then that's a look at the 2-year and 30 years, a little bit lower. So it seems like the shorter term is kind of getting hit a little bit harder today. Yep, makes sense. 10 into inversion, bouncing a little bit today. So yeah, shorter term is getting hit a little bit more than the longer terms today. HYG continuing to pull back. I don't like it now. Definitely not like that look. It hasn't broke the 10 EMA yet, so maybe it'll hold it. Maybe it'll just kind of come down a little bit more. Maybe the 20 EMA will push it higher. I would have wanted to see this already push up, break out, So, okay. Yeah, you're definitely getting your stop losses maybe a little bit tighter. Maybe just below this wick that we had back on to July 19th. Because if we start rolling down, the 20 EMA probably does support the price for a little bit. And hopefully that'll continue it higher. But if that doesn't, then yeah, you're probably going to be breaking through this wick anyways, moving to a lower level. All right, LQD pulling back a little bit today. All right. TLT pulling back a little bit today. So that's 2 days back to back. We had gap ups and kind of sell offs there on the TLT and LQD. All right, and here's sector rotation on the day. And we've got financials leading the day. Energy's also doing pretty well. Industrials doing pretty good. Okay. Real estate, communications outperforming a decent amount. We got utilities and materials also outperforming. Healthcare discretionaries in line with the market. Staples underperforming pretty good. And tech, big time underperformance. You can really see tech about 20 minutes after the market was open. It was kind of in line, but ever since then, it's just kind of just been getting hit with the old sell button there. As far as intraday, I'd imagine tech's got the lower end. Yeah, tech definitely at the lower end. What's dragging down the market? Tech. Okay, it makes sense. Discretionaries, healthcare in line with the market. Real estate outperforming. Industrials also outperforming. Communications, staples, materials, utilities outperforming decent amount. Financials and energies bouncing back today. Energy's been getting hit pretty good here past week or so. So yeah, energy's doing pretty good today.